I told my daughter that I wish I had died too so she could have the mother she actually wants. I was 24 when my marriage to Nathan collapsed. Nathan had fallen for someone at his firm, someone who wore Chanel and drove a Lexus. I took our daughter and moved into a 2-bedroom apartment where the elevator only worked half the time. I got a job working double shifts at Valley Medical Center as an ICU nurse, 12-hour overnight rotations that left me exhausted but paid just enough to keep us fed and housed. Those first 3 years were brutal, but somehow sacred. Lily and I became our own little universe. I'd come home from overnight shifts and she'd already be awake. We'd make breakfast together, and she'd tell me everything about preschool while I fought to keep my eyes open. Everything shifted when Nathan married Claudia. Lily came home from her first weekend at Daddy's new house carrying a shopping bag from Nordstrom, talking about the house with the 3-car garage and the pool with a waterfall and Claudia's closet that was bigger than our entire living room. I smiled and asked questions and helped her unpack the new clothes Claudia had bought, designer brands with tags that cost more than my weekly grocery budget. That night, I sat on the bathroom floor after Lily fell asleep and cried so hard I thought I might throw up. Claudia was everything I wasn't. She'd inherited money from her family's real estate empire and spent her days doing hot yoga and planning charity luncheons and apparently playing stepmom to my daughter. She didn't work. She didn't have to choose between buying Lily new shoes or paying the electric bill. She got to be the fun one, the generous one, the one who said yes to everything. The comparison started small and grew. Lily was 6 when she first asked why we couldn't have a pool. I explained gently that pools were expensive. She wrinkled her nose and said the public pool was gross, not like Claudia's pool with the heating and the lights that changed colors. By age 8, she'd stopped eating my homemade dinners. She'd push food around her plate and mention that Claudia's chef made really good pasta, not like the box kind. When I'd suggest our usual weekend activities, she'd sigh dramatically and ask if we could do something actually fun. I started picking up extra shifts, working myself into exhaustion to afford occasional treats. It was never enough. I took her to a movie and she compared it to the home theater at Daddy's house. I bought her a new dress for school pictures, and she said it was okay but not as nice as the ones Claudia picks out. By the time Lily turned 11, she'd stopped pretending to be happy at our apartment. She'd walk in from school and immediately go to her room, emerging only to eat dinner in silence. Her room at Daddy's house had a balcony and a TV and an attached bathroom. Her room at my apartment had walls so thin she could hear our neighbor's TV. Nathan had started canceling midweek dinners, texting that Claudia had planned something special. I'd see the photos he posted online. Lily in designer outfits at places I'd only read about, smiling wider than she ever smiled with me. One Saturday, I suggested we go to the farmer's market and she looked at me with pure disdain. Why would I want to walk around looking at vegetables when I could be at Daddy's house swimming? That's when the direct attack started. Our car was embarrassing. She didn't want me dropping her off at school where her friends might see it. The breaking point came on a Thursday in July. Lily had been at Nathan's house for a week at their beach house in Malibu and came home tanned and sullen. She dropped her designer luggage in the entryway and looked around our apartment. This place is so depressing, she said flatly. I'd spent my day off cleaning and had bought her favorite snacks. I asked her about the trip. She shrugged and said it was fine, then asked when we were getting a pool. I explained again that we couldn't afford a pool. She exploded. You can't afford anything. You can't afford a house or a pool or nice clothes or good food or anything that matters. Claudia can afford everything. She actually cares about giving me a good life. I felt something crack inside my chest. I tried to stay calm, tried to explain that love wasn't measured in pools and designer clothes. She cut me off with words I'll hear for the rest of my life. I wish you had died instead of divorcing Daddy. Then Claudia could have adopted me and I could have had a real life. The silence that followed felt like drowning. I looked at my daughter and saw nothing but contempt, so I said it. I wish I had died too, so you could have the mother you actually want. She ran to her room and called Nathan, sobbing that I'd said I wished I was dead. He picked her up within the hour. That was 6 months ago, and I come home to an empty apartment.